When it comes to Dragon Ball, a lot of people love the series. However, I do tend to notice that a lot of people don't go back to watch or reread the story after they complete the first or second time. And I also come to terms with the fact that I am also one of those people. So, I just thought that my second rerun through of the series, I'd just highlight each fight that I felt was definitely impactful enough in the series. I might not go in depth on everything, and if you feel like I should, please let me know what you're interested in the comments below. But as of right now, we're just gonna start with the original fight with Raditz. Just to give a little context into Son Goku, right? From a young boy. Son Goku has always been a curious young man, putting his mind to the test and putting his best foot forward, showing his strength and growing from it. As he continued to grow, he showed more and more promise as each adversary that he would come to face showed more and more that Son Goku was the guy who was willing to grow and become something spectacular. That is when it comes to Earth. However, when his brother Raditz shows up, a lot changes in the story and puts Goku in a very unique position where he has no chance to fight and win successfully, at least not by himself. During this time, it takes more than just Goku to handle it, as he decides to work with his adversary for the very first time in the series. This moment only led to the creation of something very special that Dragon Ball will continue to do moving on down the line. Creating great stakes for our characters, and especially Son Goku. Raditz was actually the very first person in the series that made you really sit back and think, yo, I watched the entirety of this series. I watched these two antagonists, Goku and Piccolo, fight back to back in the most bloodiest fight I've ever seen, ever. And then here comes Goku's brother, handling both of them with the slightest of ease, and all they can do is look shock and awe as Raditz's power completely overwhelms them. This is the introduction of Dragon Ball Z, showing there's a lot to learn, and Goku has a lot that he needs to pick up on. All it takes is for Goku to just let go. Goku, when given a position of power, unfortunately, even in this fight, when there is a clear difference between him and Raditz, Goku continues to still show his weakness. Not only has he shown that he's weak in the physical sense, but also compared to these new threats. Even when given an opportunity to stop him, Goku lets his guard down at the worst possible time, leaving him to deserve exactly what he had coming. He has too much to learn. Our previous protagonist, able to handle most if not all of the circumstances in front of him, has found himself in a circumstance that has his kid taken from him. His adversary that he has been fighting since the beginning is now struggling to figure out how to handle the threat in front of him, and him completely out of options. Or so it seems, as it doesn't take long for something to happen, something to change, something like his son Gohan awakening his true potential. At the simple age of 4, mind you. 4 years old, this kid has not trained a day in his life, and is just awakened by the simple screams of his father trying to get up. This was an awakening of the series, showing that Goku, although he is unable to handle this new threat, his son has more than enough to get this done. As Goku sits there shocked, and honestly, if you think about it, Gohan blitzed Goku and Raditz. Sure, it was a one-shot, and the kid definitely stopped after. But that one blow was all he needed for Raditz to sit back and realize, it's time to make sure I'm the only one left in this family. Though to be fair, Raditz could have easily just taken out Gohan, without a shadow of a doubt. But for some reason, I feel like he held back. Raditz is a smart player. He understands that he needs somebody to come back to fight Frieza with, but instead he let his ego get in the way. And because of that, he fell for the dumbest trick in the book. A full Nelson. These are intergalactic warriors fighting. Goku, realizing that he's really out of options and ideas of how to redirect all of this nonsense, when Gohan gets put into the equation, he easily puts himself in danger, almost instantly. Piccolo happy to oblige Goku, asking for him and his brother to be taken out at the exact same time. Sounds extremely ludicrous, but in the end, it is a truly efficient strategy that takes out him along with his brother. What a valid sacrifice for the planet and of course your son, who you actively put yourself in harm's way to protect. Unfortunately, this has put you in a very dire circumstance. Gohan is left alone. Raditz is out of the picture. However, he leaves himself one last thing to say before he exits. He realizes these guys barely could handle me, and they have the nerve to be proud of it. My two partners put me to shame, and that's me putting my pride completely aside. He sees Piccolo and tells him, "You have nothing more than a year before my compatriots come and join, and you decide to tell me everything about the Dragon Balls conveniently while I have my scouter on." It's pretty bad for Piccolo though. It seems we don't have much else to say due to Piccolo's circumstances, only leaving him with a few choices here. You take out Raditz and to take on Gohan as the only way to handle the threat that's about to be looming over all of them. With the simple cut and Goku saying his farewell to his friend Krillin, Goku, without a shadow of a doubt, through a very selfless action, gives his life for the very first time in the series. A truly tragic end, and that's the story of Son Goku, the man you never understood. Just messing around. Goku got a chance to go to the other world thanks to Kami. It's actually pretty simple when you think about it, right? But there was a reason for it, and simply put, Goku needs to train. Goku, hearing that there's an opportunity to train by somebody who's strong, if not stronger, gets to be himself in the best way possible. But he has to trek a very long way down Snake Way, a long path that lasts and goes down forever, some say. Shoot, the only person who's ever done it before is King Yama himself, who's giving Goku the path to go down. Yeah, but now all of a sudden, that Raditz is completely out of the picture, Goku is left to run to Snake Way, which leaves Gohan and Piccolo alone for the next year to prepare for the Saiyan invasion, and for you to be waiting on the next video upload to figure out what happens next. Because of course, you haven't watched the series, or read it. You're a Dragon Ball fan. I know you can't read. It's okay. Neither can I. That's why we're watching it. But in the meantime, stay blessed, stay loved, and that's it. It's time to X out. So, see ya.